Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to coverage of SCG Indy States here, Day 2. This is Modern. I'm your host, Andrew Donnelly. With me, my co-host, Matthew Robert Dow. And we've got a familiar phrase from yesterday's standard event in our first feature match, Matt.
Indeed. We got
Bruce Edelman.
Bruce Edelman on the right here. He was playing Abzan Aggro today. He's playing Jund today.
Yep.
Likes that rock shell, that black-green shell.
And I'm okay with that.
And then his opponent will be Scott Boner. I don't want to say that how I think that's
Scott Bomer.
It's actually Scott Bo.
Oh,
it might be Scott Boner.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did I spell that wrong?
So he's playing Merfolk though, a deck that I know that you wanted to see.
I did want to see Merfolk. So I was pretty excited for this deck.
Deck that I want to see because they have creatures. The creatures they attack.
They do.
They're lords.
Let's get in here and see how this goes. This will be our first Modern event streaming together.
It should be interesting. I think this might be a pretty decent matchup for Scott, provided he can get some of his guys out of lightning bolt range.
Does Scott play the Spreading Seas main board?
He does. He has 4 of those main board, and he has 4 Swan Songs.
That'll be really cool.
So, Swan Song's an interesting one. But yeah, I like this deck if he can get his guys out of bolt range. Bruce only has 3 Abrupt Decays main deck.
Okay.
That's he has 3 Abrupt Decays and some Terminates. So he's got some ways to kill giant guys, but he's on a mulligan. So
he is. I saw his opening can did have Olivia in there.
Yeah, he is. He has an Olivia.
Is that a one of Olivia Voldaren? God, that card's good. Oh my jeez.
So Bruce on a mold of 6.
It'll be interesting to see how this Merfolk deck differs.
He's going to keep. There's a cavern. I imagine naming Merfolk.
Yep.
And there's a Curse Catcher.
Love it. Good start.
Great start. Get that 1-drop.
I think the only way that gets better is
maybe a Vial.
Fetch Island Vial.
No fetches in Scott's deck.
Really?
Yeah.
So he's playing straight up Islands, Cavernous Souls, Mutavaults. Okay.
Yep. There's a Raging Ravine from Bruce. Scott probably looking to play a Lord here. See if he has one. There's a Mutavault. So not going to be a Lord, just a Spellskite.
Interesting.
It's going to resolve. And going to attack with the Curse Catcher. Bruce is going to be at 19. So Spellskite, I think, also pretty good against this Gen deck. But Bruce doesn't look to have too much removal in his hand. Looks like he's packing more creatures. He's got a Scavenging Ooze and a Hunt Master, it looks like. There's a Twilight Mire, I believe.
That is.
Bruce, he's going to cast a Scavenging Ooze here, looks like. Does have an Inquisition of Kozilek in hand, but opting to cast the Scavenging Ooze this turn. That way he can block this Curse Catcher, provided Scott doesn't have a Lord. There's an island off the top, it looks like. That's probably just what Scott needed. Cast some of these double blue cards that he may have in his hand, like Lord of Atlantis and Master of the Pearl Trident.
Scott should feel like he's pretty in the clear here to advance his board state with the Lord, as I don't believe Jund plays a lot of main board sweepers.
No.
In the Pyroclasm or Anger the Gods?
No. And there is a Lord of Atlantis, so that is a 2/2 Curse Catcher now, and it attacks in.
I really like this deck. I played Merfolk in Legacy for some time, and me and Noah Cohen actually shared a list that he played as well when he got into Legacy, and it was really fun. The deck's super strong to play, and granted, it's very not that different in Legacy. You're just missing the Force of Will here. Your creature base is almost exactly the same.
You don't have Wastelands and stuff like that, so you're like.
Well, that was the thing. You got to choose if you wanted to run Wastelands or if you wanted to run Cavernous Souls.
Yeah.
And Cavernous Souls started to become a thing because it was really great against certain decks.
Here's an Inquisition of Kozilek from Bruce, so we'll see what Scott is working with here. I think he would ideally like to show him a hand with Master of the Waves in it. Oh,
and
buddy.
There it is.
So it's Aether Vial, Silvergill, Adept, and a Master of the Waves.
Wow.
So he's going to take the Silvergill Adept, which makes sense.
Yep.
It says, get that garbage out of here. and now I imagine he's going to probably abrupt decay this Lord of Atlantis, which I think is probably going to get redirected to Spellskite.
Keeping your lords alive, obviously super important plan to what Merfolk's trying to do here.
Right. I think that's primarily the reason why Spellskite is a 3 of in Bruce's main deck, or in Scott's main deck. You can't counter that.
Yeah.
That is uncounterable, my friend. So
Okay.
it looks like he attempted to sack.
Yep. Realize
You can target the spell,
correct,
but you can't counter it. And
Interesting.
now he lost pretty much his whole board.
Yeah, that
He did draw a land though, so he will be able to cast Master of Waves if he so chooses. But
I don't think that was the plan he
Scott
originally wanted.
Yeah, in a bad way here. He said he's going to animate Mutavault and attack, and Bruce is going to take it and go to 14. Yeah, I don't. Scott choosing not to play the Aether Vial we know about. I think Bruce is about to run away with this. He's got a Liliana in his hand, a Kitchen Finks, and a Huntmaster of the Fells. Imagine he's going to shock on his Blood Crypt here and probably play Huntmaster of the Fells.
Yeah,
So,
that seems okay.
gain 2 and get a wolf.
Another card I'm a huge fan of. One of the few green creatures I actually like to play. Coincidentally, Bruce didn't even really need to accelerate his board state, as he could have just attacked and used Scavenging Ooze to gain life off of the creatures in Scott's Yard.
He missed some points of damage here just by not attacking with the Scavenging Ooze. Because now if he attacks, Scott can potentially just animate a Mutavault and block, where before that was off the table because Bruce could have used Scavenging Ooze to, eat some of the Merfolk in Scott's graveyard.
Yeah.
So it looks like Scott drew another land for the turn, but gonna need to play a land here or play a spell here so that this Huntmaster doesn't flip. Gonna name Merfolk, I imagine. I believe
Master
that is a
of the-
Merfolk Sovereign.
Yes, it is.
That is a card I do not know what it does.
+1/+1 to all Merfolk you
So,
control.
let's bring that one
And
up.
I believe it can tap to make target creature you control unblockable.
That seems pretty good. I'm a fan of Thassa in this deck.
Target Merfolk creature, I'm sorry. So,
Okay.
2 blue, 1 colorless, 2/2. Other Merfolk creatures you control get +1/+1. Tap target Merfolk creatures unblockable this turn.
Nice. So there's a Thoughtseize from Bruce. He's going to go down to 12, but he's going to take the Master of the Waves that was in Scott's hand. Now he is going to tap 3, and I imagine play a Liliana.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think Scott just maybe didn't quite understand how to use his Curse Catchers properly.
Yeah.
Or maybe didn't figure that he could redirect with Spellskite.
Yeah. So Bruce is going to play Liliana. He's going to make Scott sack a creature. Scott, he's going to sack his Merfolk Sovereign. And we'll see if Bruce has any attacks here. I think
I'm really confused why we're protecting this Spellskite so much.
So Bruce is going to shove in with everything. It's odd he's not defending his Liliana. But Scott blocks the Huntmaster and takes 4 down to 16. So now Scott has the opportunity to fire up a Mutavault and get in there and kill this Liliana. He's going to play a Lord of Atlantis first. I imagine we're going to attack Liliana.
I would
one of
think
these
so.
Mutavaults.
I mean, this is the that's the obvious line here.
And that is a dead
Okay.
Liliana.
And this is the thing I think people get kind of caught up of when playing Merfolk too, is this is an aggressive deck. The deck is you are meant to kill people with your creatures.
Correct.
That is what Merfolk does. And some people kind of get in this fashion where they want to try to play it like a more counter style game or a more control-y, like tempo-ish game, and that's not how the deck
It's
plays.
a tempo deck. I mean, but I don't really particularly think that the legacy or Merfolk or modern ones are like the vintage fish deck is a tempo deck.
Sure.
Like you're just trying to play a bunch of spells and then hold up permission and land denial your opponent. But
Yeah.
these decks are more just like blue aggressive decks.
They are.
They don't have too much permission.
Very much so. I totally agree with that.
So Bruce is going to gain some life here. He's going to start eating Merfolk in Scott's graveyard. Going to tap the Twilight Mire for green and eat some more Merfolk. So this could be one big scavenging ooze.
Yeah, and this is what I think in all honesty, this is the plan he kind of should have gone with before.
There he goes. He's going to bash in. This also has the benefit of flipping his Huntmaster next turn to kill the Lord of Atlantis, provided that Scott doesn't have, like, a free spell.
And this is, once again, I just don't think that was a quality play from Scott.
Huntmaster's going to flip. It's going to shoot this Lord of Atlantis. Scott is going to take 2 also off the Huntmaster flip. That card is stupid good.
Huntsmaster
it was so annoying and standard.
I love that card. One of my favorite green cards.
Scott going to pass it back. Scott, pretty dead here.
Yeah, I can't imagine he's going to be...
Abrupt Decay. We're going to fire up Raging Ravine. We're going to attack. We're going to trigger Raging Ravine. That thing, it's on a rampage. It's going to get bigger.
And that card's also good.
Yeah. This is the Jun deck, man. This is a deck of good green, black, and red cards.
So that's 15 damage coming at Scott right now.
That's more than 15.
Is it?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6.
That's
Huntmaster's
a
4/4?
Yeah, 4/4 Huntmaster.
So
6/6 Scavenging Ooze. That's 10, 12. 16 damage coming at.
16. Raging Ravine's at 3/3 at start?
It's a...
I thought it was a 2/2.
No, it's a 3/3 or 3/4.
Oh, 4/4 with a +1/+1 counter. I'm sorry.
So, Scott gonna chump and draw for his turn and pretty much be dead.
Yeah, if you're the Merfolk player, I have to...
He's gonna play a Curse Catcher. We're fine with that. We're gonna untap. We're gonna draw. We're gonna fire up Raging Ravine again. We are at 6 to 15.
6 to 15.
So if we fire up Raging Ravine and he doesn't Vapor snag one of our guys,
yes,
we're gonna kill him. We're gonna attack. We're gonna trigger Raging Ravine. Scott has no good blocks. He is just dead. He's gonna, I imagine, block the Scavenging Ooze with the Curse Catcher. Yep. Scott sees.
That's it.
He is dead.
It's going to be game 1 to Mr. Bruce Edelman.
Bruce trying to get back to the finals here. Was in the finals of the standard states yesterday. Lost to Sawyer Blatz with playing Abs and aggro. So he's trying to run it back here.
It's all right.
All right.
Hit the sideboards.
Here you go, Merfolk, man.
All right, let's see what I got.
What do you got there?
All right, so we've got
Merfolk with that sideboard knowledge.
Scott. We've got 3 Mana Leak. Oh, I can already tell you the next card is a card I love. 3 Mana Leak, the first card. Next card. 3, Kira, the Great Glass Spinner.
Yep.
Loved that card in my Merfolk deck. Thought it was great. 3 Hurkyl's Recall. 3 Rapid Hybridization.
All right.
Interesting. That's some standard tech. And 3 Grafdigger's Cages to take care of the pesky Dreads decks if they rear their head. Potentially anything that plays Green Sun Zenith. How do you feel about
Congregation at Dawn decks, I guess?
Yeah, sure. That'll do it.
The Abzan deck, yeah.
Or that ridiculous Epic Dawn that we saw. Well, no, because that's enchantments only, so I guess you can still...
you can't search your library.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Although, yeah, players can't search libraries. For... I don't know what the text on Grafdigger's Cage are.
We'll look Grafdigger's Cage up.
You can fetch, so lands are good.
Can you?
Yeah. Anyways, we'll look that up.
Cards... Hold on. I want to talk about Kira, the Great Glass Spinner. Players can't cast cards in graveyards or libraries, so you can still
can't cast them.
I'm probably bringing in maybe a few of the Rapid Hybridizes, 1 or 2 Kiras in place of the Spellskites most likely, and then I'm probably maybe even an assortment of Mana Leaks.
I don't like Mana Leak in this deck.
No?
No.
Why not?
Just because, like you said, I just want to bash people.
You want to play the aggro.
I don't really want to. Yeah, turn into this like tempo deck, but maybe Mana Leak is.
Well,
good
he does have 4 Swansong in the main board, and I just think Mana Leak is a little bit better against the Jump deck.
I think it's better than Swansong.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's good. I mean,
sure,
it's not very good against Inquisition and like Thoughtseize and stuff like that.
I agree with that.
I think Kira is the only card I'm bringing in here.
Kira is such a good card. That card
I
is
actually probably imported out all
ridiculous.
4 Swansongs too. So
all right, so hit me up with that Jun sideboard. What do we got there?
All right, man. We got an Outpost Siege, a Batter Skull, a Kolaghan's Command, a Slaughter Pact, a Sowing Salt, a Chandra Pyromancer, a Golgari Charm, a Grim Lavamancer, 3 Feed the Clans, 2 Fulminator Mages, and 2 Ancient Grudges.
Wow, a lot of standard cards in here. What's...
So, cards I think that are probably pretty good.
Yeah.
Kolaghan's Command doesn't seem bad. We
No, that seems alright.
discard a card, do 2 damage to a creature.
Yeah.
Maybe even blow up an artifact in the case
Sure.
of the Aether Vial here. Slaughter Pact seems fine. Just another removal spell. Grim Lavamancer seems great. Mow down your Merfolks. Yeah, I think those are primarily the cards that I'm looking at here.
I actually do like the Kolaghan's Command. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, I think Kolaghan's Command is pretty good in this matchup.
Even Slaughter Pact isn't bad here, actually.
Yeah, Slaughter Pact obviously is a removal
Yeah.
spell. But I mean, like, Kolaghan's Command has... All 4 modes are relevant in this matchup.
Yeah.
You can shatter Aether Vial. You can get back the creature from your graveyard if you need be. You can do 2 damage, and discard a card is always good.
The only card I'm really not fond of in Bruce's sideboard is Feed the Clan.
I mean, if you're expecting a lot of burn, it's great.
Sure, but we have no sweepers. That's the other thing that we're missing, huh? We've got no way to sweep the table. We have no Anger of the Gods, no Pyroclasms, no Volcanic Fallouts.
Yeah, no.
I mean, just none of those
doing
cards.
that today. So
Interesting. Maybe he just didn't see those types of decks in his meta. Didn't really think about it.
yeah. So Scott can be on the play here. Bruce has probably a keeper. He's got a couple of lightning bolts in there.
Sure.
Let's see what Scott has. Scott has for us. Cure the Grave Glassspinner, probably pretty good against lightning bolt.
Yeah.
Pretty good against targeted removal.
We've got 97 players, I believe. 97 or 98?
We have 98.
98.
Players.
I'm sorry, 98
So
players.
there's a turn
today.
1 Aether Vial from Scott. He's going to trigger it. He's going to put a counter on it. He's going to draw for turn.
And that's another good
There's
start.
a Mutavault. He's going to ship it back. Scott did ring in the Mana Leaks.
Yeah.
See one he has in his hand. Got the old Stronghold version.
Oh, I like that. I like that art.
All right, well, here's Trigger Aether Vial. There's a
Catcher's
Curse
back
Catcher.
out.
Bruce, he's going to fetch here. I imagine probably just Lightning Bolt this guy.
So I believe, was he saying he's going to fetch in response?
Potentially.
But he'd have to do it in response to the activation of Aether Vial?
I mean, it depends what what he wants to do here. If it's a spell he wants to cast for 2 mana that this Curse Catcher could potentially counter, then yeah. Looks like he's probably just going to Abrupt Decay the Aether Vial.
Okay. Scott this time. Not, well, interesting.
So, Scott's pass back to Scott now. We have a Blackweave Cliffs and a Stomping Ground there from Bruce. We're going to Spreading Seas.
Oof.
So now we have an island.
That's the tech. That's
And
that.
Scott's
That's
gonna
that
draw.
old Zendikar standard tech against the Jund decks.
Oh, man. That's right. So bash in there. Hit you for 1.
Good man. That was the way to attack Jund when it was in standard, is you crippled its mana base because it was so reliant on having every color.
We're going to pass back to Bruce. He's got a second Blackweave Cliffs. Now he's got two Blackweave Cliffs, one of them being an island, though. And Scott, he's on the mana denial plan here.
I love it.
All right, man.
Enjoy your islands.
Yeah. Bruce going to float a red.
Interesting.
I imagine. We're going to draw a card off Spreading Seas. We drew a Mutavault.
Okay.
So we're going to move to combat. We're going to Lightning Bolt that.
Mana leak it.
That's not a Mana Leak.
Oh
That's
no,
Lord
it's a
of Atlantis.
Lord. What did we do?
Scott's going to show him.
There's
Mana
the
Leak.
Mana
Now
Leak.
he's going to cast a Mana Leak.
Ah, come on. I got excited for a second. I thought it was just straight up mana leak. I was like, what is he doing showing him the Lord of Atlantis? I thought there was some sweet tech he was about to bust
Yeah.
out.
He's just showing it to him. Oh, I could have cast this.
Right.
So Bruce deciding whether or not he wants to Lightning Bolt this guy, but he knows that Scott has a Lord in his hand, so
Yeah.
imagine you just let this guy live and then
Yep.
take the 1 here.
I mean, he already selected targets for the bolt, so...
Yeah. But it's been Mana Leaked.
So we're on black, Black-red,
Yeah.
blue-blue right now.
Right.
Oh,
But we have a Raging Ravine in our
okay.
hand, so... We also have a Maelstrom Pulse, which is just gas.
It is.
And there's
And
going to
here
be a Tassiger.
Tassie Town?
Remember, those lands still tap for colors,
That's true.
so it is able to tap for colors. But Scott, I believe, does have a Rapid Hybridization in his hand, but it's still going to be difficult for him to attack past the 3/3 Frog Lizard.
Yep.
And there's a Cavern. I assume naming Merfolk. Sure enough.
Merfolk is named. Curse Catcher should be untapped.
Should be.
Scott really in the tank here about how he wants to attack this.
So we know he has a Lord.
Yep.
He's going to tap 3. He's going to play
Sovereign.
Merfolk Sovereign. So
Sweet.
now our Curse Catcher is a little bigger.
Could we not have played?
No, we can't play a
No, I guess yeah. I was
We
thinking
need
that
4 blue
we can't pay
sources.
better mana
Yeah.
to.
So now we're going to Rapid Hybridize Tassiger. Alright. How large is Merfolk Sovereign?
Merfolk Sovereign by itself is a 2/2.
Okay. And there's a Frog Lizard. Scott, good enough, kind enough to have one on hand, so we didn't have to go fishing for one.
A Frog Lizard token.
Yeah.
This Maelstrom
Scott's going
Pulse
to pass it back.
threatens to kind of blow the game open here for Bruce again.
Yeah, well, there's an Inquisition. So let's see what Scott's working with. We know he has a Lord. That's
it.
He no longer has a Lord. So, imagine you just want to probably bolt the Merfolk Sovereign. You could even, like, well, he doesn't have mana now to Maelstrom Pulse the Spreading Seas away if he wants to, but I don't even know if that's even a consideration anymore. So, bolt the Merfolk Sovereign.
Yep.
Unfortunately, can't cast this Kitchen Finks in his hand because he's only got 3 colors, three sources of mana that are colored to Jund colors. Scott, he's going to draw and pass it back. So this Frog Lizard doing a pretty good job road blocking the team. Here's a Kitchen Finks. Bruce.
Gonna gain
He's
2.
going to gain 2. Here's another Rapid Hybridization. Oh god. Alright. We're going to trigger Persist.
Jeez.
We're going to gain some life. We're going to get a 3/3. So,
Yeah,
it's
I can't imagine
not
that's
going very well for
no.
Scott here. I would like to see Thassa in this deck.
Yeah, I kind of would too.
She's not a Merfolk, but you know,
it's pretty good.
Yeah, she's nice for like, especially if you're playing Rapid Hybridization. Like, we're just sitting here with a bunch of Mutavaults and a bunch of mana. We just can't even attack through these 3/3s. Although to be fair, if we're attacking, then with Thassa, I imagine we're just probably getting annihilated because Bruce is just attacking us for 8 every turn.
I did see a very interesting a mono blue Merfolk / Devotion list at a 50K in Ohio one time.
Yeah.
And it was actually really sweet because his backup plan was to generate a ton of mana and then use Nykthos and Blue Sun Zenith to mill his opponent out.
Yeah.
It was really cool.
Alright, here's Tarmogoyf and an attack from these Frog Lizards. So Scott's going to take 6 and go to 14. Let's do a Tarmogoyf check here, see how large that is. Bruce has creature, sorcery, and instant. I believe there's an Aether Vial in the bin, so there's an artifact. No lands, though, surprisingly.
4/5 is what it is currently.
Yeah. There's another island for Scott. He's going to pass it back. Alright, Bruce, he's throwing a Thundermaw Hellkite. So there. Scott going to stop him. Let's see. Going to attempt to Mana Leak it.
Yeah.
So that's why I just don't like Mana Leak. It's like, especially with Rapid Hybridization, you just get so far behind.
Sure.
So, attack it for 10 here. The Goyf and the Frog Lizards.
To be honest, though, I think Mana Leak is a fairly good card had we not wasted like a Rapid Hybridization on a Kitchen Finks.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Yeah, we've made some pretty poor plays.
so we're just gonna chump and see if we can draw Whelming Wave. Try to get back in this one.
Do we have Whelming
No,
Wave?
that-
Oh God,
I was
thought
trying
you
to
were-
think of a blue wrath, a mono blue wrath.
evacuation.
All right, there's a Spellskite. That one's a stinker. It's got it 11. He can block the Tarmogoyf, and then he'll take 6, 8, 11. Yeah, so I think he's dead if. Well, I guess he can block Mutavault, or with Mutavault too. So we're gonna activate Raging Ravine. We're gonna attack, trigger Raging Ravine.
Yep.
It's now 3 power. Scott,
That's it.
He's gonna concede the match.
Bruce Edelman.
Pretty sure he could have blocked with the Mutavault there to stave off a death that turn, but
Yeah.
he was dead the turn later.